Welcome to my happy place. Actually, like, low-key insane that I've never done a setup tour, but I want to thank you guys again for clicking on another video, and this is the 2024 official setup tour of me. Usually I like look at setups online and stuff like that, like during stream and stuff, and I'm like, oh, this setup is really sick, I want to do this, but like, I've never really shown this off. Now, for those of you who have seen me stream, you've obviously have seen this, but I've never gone into detail about what everything in this room does, and that's what we're gonna do today. Now, I've built my setup to be the place for me to make most of my gaming content. Notice how I said gaming content. This is a setup strictly built for gaming as of right now. I'm working on some other things on the side. Don't worry, you guys will know soon when those things are done. But this is primarily for gaming and gaming only. Please ignore my cable management. I'm not the greatest or the best. I don't care. You can loathe me all you want in the comments, but I think we're going to start here. This is the bread and butter, and this is pretty much what everybody wants to know about. These are my two custom-built PCs, actually built by myself. I've built both of these PCs. This actually, I've had this PC for a pretty long time now. It has a EVGA 3070 in it with a Ryzen 9. Got 32 gigs of RAM, or 64 gigs of RAM, with a Corsair H100 fans in it and a Corsair H100 pump. Now, I've had this PC for a very long time, I've been probably upgrading it for about 2 to 3 years now, and I'm thinking about building another one pretty soon, which I'm probably gonna do when either the 5000 series comes out or graphics cards stop being so expensive, because they're really expensive. Down here, this is my stream PC. It has a 1080 Ti in it, 1080 Ti, ha ha ha, and a Ryzen 7 in it as well. And it also has 64 gigs of RAM to help me run my stream. So these are just the two things that make this whole thing work. And I'm gonna go in all the other stuff too. I couldn't even sit in my chair for this one, but we're gonna do this anyway. So as you can see, I have a lot of monitors. I have 4 actually. So right here is just a standard LG ultra wide. I think it's like 27-inch ultra wide. It's great. This is what I use for my stream PC. So these 2 monitors right here, these 2, this one and this one, are for my stream PC. These 2 right here for my gaming PC. Now, you must be thinking to yourself, Fusco, why the hell do you need 4 monitors? And the question that I'm going to answer for you right now is, I don't at all. I just happen to have a couple extra monitors in my house, and I was like, hey, might as well put them in my setup. But this is my main monitor that I use for the streaming side of things. I can actually say, yeah, this is my main monitor that I use for the mostly of the streaming side of things. I can put OBS up here. I can put pretty much whatever I want right here. And this is where my main chat goes because my camera is right here, which I'm gonna get to in a second. Right here is my LG Ultra Gear 1440p 27-inch gaming monitor. And let me tell you something, mwah, I love this monitor, I love it. Now, in Florida, on the Florida setup, for those of you who know, we also have a Florida setup, there is a big difference between this monitor and the other monitor. The other monitor is 1080p, 27 inches. And I will say, after playing on that monitor for about six or 7 weeks, I've never really played on it longer than a week. I still like 1440p better, even though with a 3070, I will get frame drop. And honestly, it doesn't bother me that much. I like to see things clearer than have frames. I mean, when I get the next PC and upgrade it, that's not gonna be a problem anymore. With a 3070, it does kind of lack a little bit. So let's say, for example, on the 1080p monitor, I get about 180 to 190, 200 sometimes FPS in Warzone. And this one I get about 120 to 140, which is technically what my monitor is technically supposed to get with the 3070, but this is still way better. Over here, we just have another standard LG. This is not an ultra wide, this is just a regular LG monitor. It's just like a base PC monitor, nothing crazy about it. And this is what I use for Discord and to be able to put like Chrome over here and stuff like that on my gaming PC. And back here, we have another LG ultra wide that I love. This is pretty much for show, but after stream is over, I like to load up Dropbox and all the other things that I need to put on this monitor to upload all my clips and all the footage that I've recorded from the stream before. And that's kind of a big deal because that'd be kind of weird to do it on this, so it's much easier to do it on this because I do have a 2 PC setup, so technically speaking, I do need more than 2 monitors. This is a little overkill though, and I don't really care at all. All right, now over to the main area. I like to call this area the main area. Let me move my phone real quick. So, microphone-wise, I have a Shure MV7. Now, this is pretty much the little brother of the SM7B, which is like if you've pretty much seen any high-level streamer stream, they're most likely using the SM7B, but this is the MV7. It's cheaper, it's just as good, and I actually like the size of it. The SM7B is about, I'd say about that big, so to speak, maybe a little bit bigger. I'm not entirely sure of where that falls, but the quality of this microphone that you can get for the price is awesome. Over here, this is my custom Glorious GMMK keyboard, and I built this myself. I wouldn't say built it, but I put it together myself. It has Cherry MX Silver speed switches in it, and I also have these Japanese keycaps on top from a company called Keychron. If you don't know about Keychron, get on that wave. It's awesome. And I also have my Glorious Model, what is this, Model D? Yeah, Glorious Model D mouse when I was playing keyboard and mouse. Mostly, I don't play a lot of keyboard and mouse anymore because like I am primarily a COD streamer and COD streamers use these things. But before Modern Warfare 2, like last game, I was primarily on keyboard and mouse until I switched over because aim assist was so broken. And I know. You can bitch at me all you want in the comments, but I still play keyboard and mouse on every other game that is not COD, like Apex, all of it. I play everything else on keyboard and mouse nowadays. Like KBM is awesome, and these are like 2 really good things that I absolutely love, mostly because I built this. Like this is awesome to me. Like it's one of my favorite things. Over here, Stream Deck, of course. If you do not have one of these, if you're a big content creator, you are trolling. Get one, invest in your setup. This little thing right here has made my life so much easier, just because I can program so many things on it, and it's just the best. Headphones wise, I use these Sennheiser earbuds. I actually had a pair of Astros, if you can see those. I actually had a pair of Astros that I was wearing for a really long time, and the cups on them started making my ears like really dry, and like they were like literally like crackling, gross, disgusting. Not even from sweat. Like I don't really sweat that much when I game, but I think it had something to do with just like the material that the leather is made out of, and that's what caused that. But I have switched over to earbuds, and I'm telling you something, I am never going back to on-ear headphones. Earbuds are the wave, without a doubt. On this other section of my desk that I have here, this is my Go XLR, which I use for all of my audio. I'm actually really sad that they discontinued this thing. For those of you who don't know, the Go XLR is like the streamer audio mixer. This was the first audio mixer that I ever had for streaming. On the Florida setup, I have the Elgato Wave XLR, and I absolutely love it, but there is nothing that is better than this thing. This is my favorite product I think I have ever bought for my stream. I have my microphone, I have my Discord, I have my music, and I have my system, which is like my game audio right here. If I want to mute all of it, I can just do this. I can unmute one, I can unmute one or the other. It is the best thing ever. And I don't think that I've seen something yet. I think the only one that I've seen that can rival this is the Rode. The Rode is apparently like really, really good, and I might have to swap that out when this is fully discontinued, but it's going to be like developer run now, like community developer run now, which is kind of cool. Anyway, that means we're gonna get a lot of stuff that we didn't have, but this is awesome. This thing right here was actually a gift from my father. It's called a Tidbit. So we are Mets season ticket holders, and they sent us this, and he gave this to me. And it's like this little LED screen, like it's got like little LED bubblets in it. It's like a retro screen, and you can just put random things on it, and it's all app controlled. And it adds a lot of life and like a little, oh, that's kind of cool to my setup. And I absolutely love this thing. I think this is one of my favorite like little extra pieces to my setup. Also, we have the high ground keyboard, which is on my stream PC now. I actually swapped this out right before this video. I actually had a Razer keyboard, and I was kind of sick of how much room it was taking up, so I put the high ground here. And these keyboards are solid, man. I gotta get that Attack on Titan one. High ground, if you ever see this video, restock it. I will buy one. I don't think I've been able to stand like this around here in a minute, but yeah. So extras. 3D printed Ace of Spades. For those of you who have been following me for a long time, you know that I started playing Destiny when I first started streaming. And that was a big thing for me. Destiny has always been and will always be my favorite game, even though how terrible it is, and I have my favorite gun up here to represent that. This is also one of my favorite things. This is, if you guys do not know about this brand, Govee, whatever you want to call it. I don't really care what you call it. They are the best. This is a Govee light bar. I've had two of these now. I have one in my room upstairs, and I have one right here. This is some of the best accent and background lighting I've ever have used. It is amazing how nice this thing is. There's a million different sets. You can make your own sets. It's awesome. Govee. I'm gonna butcher this name a million times. Do not get on my ass about this, but it is one of the best products I've ever used. It's amazing. Over here, I just have some little extra stuff now on my, I don't know why this was down here, but on my stream, when I want an alternative camera angle, and a lot of people don't know this, is I actually have a GoPro right here, my little GoPro Hero 8. And now I'm a big fan of GoPro. I own multiple GoPros. And why won't you stay up? That's what I thought. Take a shower. But my GoPro sits right here because it can give my chat a whole extra view. I always tell people that if you have a 2 PC setup and you have a GoPro laying around, just put it on your PC. There's a webcam program that you can download, and it will go directly into OBS, and you have this whole view of your setup. This is what I use. It's awesome. It's probably one of my favorite things about this setup. People say in my chat all the time, they're like, we love the GoPro view, switch to the GoPro view. I might just make it my main camera if y'all want it. Drop a like below, and I might do it. But that's probably one of the coolest things about this setup by far. Of course, we had to get the low clock. Now, I literally bought this clock in representation of one of my favorite creators by far of all time, 100 Thieves Low. He's one of the biggest reasons why I got into cinematic content creation, so I had to get this clock to represent my boy, Low. If you ever watch this, I love you. Thank you for changing my life and making my brain be more creative. You're the best. I also have this blue cloud over here. So everyone says like, oh, this blue cloud is like super generic and all this stuff. And I'm like, I don't really care. My first esports team that I ever played on when I was playing Halo was called Blue Cloud. So this is representation of that first team. Blue Cloud forever, baby. So that's like one of my favorite things. I also have this figure of Asuka Langley. You're gonna call me a weeb, and I don't really care, but I bought this in Japan. I was in Japan. I studied abroad in Japan. Best 6 weeks of my life. You guys should all go. And of course, we have a little Twitch Lite. Best platform still to this day. I have no plans on leaving or moving or ever being done with Twitch, but Twitch is pretty awesome. All right, so lastly, I'm not gonna show you this side of the setup. Like, you guys can mostly see this on my stream, which if you wanna watch the stream, you can drop a follow on Twitch down below. I'd appreciate it. But there are some relics that I would like to share with you all. Number one being my first controller that I ever competed on. This is a Xbox 360. I think this was like the gen with the bing, like the little touch one after the white one. My white one, I don't even know where that controller is, but this is like one of my favorite things. I always keep this on my setup to remind me wherever I go, this is where I came from and this is where I started. So this is really, really cool to me. And it's dusty and gross and nasty, and I can't believe that this thing is still alive, but maybe we'll try to play on it one day, which would be really, really cool. Really, really, really cool. What else do I got over here? Oh, yeah. Oh, and my first Scuff controller. When I finished competing in Halo, this was the controller that I played on. This was actually like my first Scuff controller. Like, I stopped playing around college, so that's like 3 or 4 years ago. So yeah, I was still competing pretty heavily in 4 during this, and this was like my very first Scuff controller. Like, this controller will always hold a place in my heart because I won my first LAN with it, which which is pretty sweet. I'm over here now. So let's talk about all the other things that are over here. I have a Elgato. Why is it so dusty? Probably because I have it pointed up. Ugh. This is an Elgato Key Light Air. This is actually one of my favorite products that I have. It's so easy and the app control is awesome. Thank you, Elgato, for putting this on the App Store. I love you for this. Over here is one of my favorite pieces of this stream setup by far. This is my Lumix G7. This is actually one of the first big boy cameras I had before I had the one that I'm filming on right now, the Sony A7. And I learned a lot about filmmaking, camera work, how to use this, and this just now is the bread and butter of the visuals of my stream. I love this camera so much. If you guys are looking for a camera, get this. This is awesome. This thing is amazing. That's gonna do it for my setup tour. I appreciate you guys so much for all the love on the channel recently. If you guys wanna see more videos like this, I will go into full in-depth about anything that you guys want, so put it down below. I will tell you how it works. I will tell you if I like it. I will tell you if I hate it. I'll tell you if I sorta kinda like it and I sorta kinda hate it. But I love you guys, man. Thank you guys so much for all the support on Twitch, and thank you all much for the support on YouTube. You guys are the best, and I'm gonna have a lot of more content coming out very, very soon. I appreciate you guys, and of course, I love you. Mwah!